Hello everyone. So I'm Purnima. Once again I'm back with the story The Enemy. Now in this story, as you all know that we have read that Dr. Sudai Hockey finds a prisoner of war washed ashore and in a dying state thrown to his doorstep. As a patriot, it is his duty to hand him over to the police because he belongs from the enemy side. If he does not want to be entangled, the next best thing is to put him back to the sea. However, the surgeon in him, the doctor in him, inspire him to operate upon the dying man. And as a surgeon, this was also duty to save a dying man from the jaws of death. So, first he packs the wound with sea moss to stanch the fearful bleeding. Then he brings home with the help of his wife, and in spite of spit oppositions from the servants, he operates upon the man and harbors him till he is able to leave. He knew fully well the risk of sheltering a white man, a prisoner of war, in his house. But his sentimentality for the suffering and wounded person helped him rise above narrow national prejudices and extend his help and service even to an enemy. So, this story focuses on the doctor's devotion and dedication to his duty and his concern for the well-being of his patient. The doctor sacrificed his own rest, his own comfort, as well as his own family. So now reading the, I think this is the 8th part. So we will be reading this. That in this part you will see the zeal and dedication and efforts of both doctors and his wife. Now even Hannah, his wife, is also chained. She is also taking care of the patient, in fact the enemy. And you can see the servant had already revolted, they had left the house. Now both husband and wife, they are taking care, and in fact Hannah is having a load of work now as the servant had left, but then also she is doing a lot of work. Now from here I'm reading from here. Now I thought, I'm reading again from page number 40. I thought they had come to arrest you. Now suddenly a man come in the uniform, and Hannah thinks that it is the servant who had reported to the army. So she thought they had come to arrest her husband. He gazed down into her anxious eyes. I must get rid of this man for your sake, he said in distress. Somehow I must get rid of him. Now, finally, when he was told, Dr. Sudai was told that he was called there to take care of the general, army general, then that fear had gone from her anxious eyes. But at the same time, her husband Sodar told, I must get rid of this man for your sake, because he has seen how much she was in distress. Somehow I must get rid of him. Now Sodar goes to see the general. Of course, the general said weakly, I understand fully, but it is because I once took a degree in Princeton, so few Japanese have. Now which degree? He is talking of which degree? Now the degree of generosity. He is telling, even I understand fully, but that is because I once took a degree in Princeton, so few Japanese have. I care nothing for the man, Excellency. Now Dr. Sudai told everything to the general, and he at the same time he told, I don't care about the man, but this was my duty, my moral duty to operate to him with such success. Yes, the general said. Now general told, Yes, yes, the general said. It only makes me feel you are indispensable to me. Indispensable means very important. Now, Sodao told everything, and finally, the general told that I only feel that you are very, very important to me. Evidently, you can save anyone, you are so skilled, and there is an honor with you that to whom you touch, you save that person. You are a very skilled doctor. You say you think I can stand one more such attack as I have had today. Now he told ki how much attack. When I asked you how much attack I can bear, you told only one. And for that one attack, I want that you should stay with me. Now Dr. Sodar, when he told ki how much attack may I can bear, not more than one, it was a reply of Dr. Sodar. Then certainly I can allow nothing to happen to you, the general said with anxiety. Now general told कि if you feel कि I may have one more attack, so it is very necessary that you should stay beside me. I don't want nothing to happen to you, the general said with anxiety. That means the general here is a bit mean now. He has become a bit mean because he don't want at any cost that something should happen to Dr. Sadao, because general was having a lot of faith in Dr. Sadao. He felt that only he as a surgeon could save him, no, nobody else. So he is much conscious about himself. That is the reason he is telling, then certainly I can allow nothing to happen to you, the general said with anxiety. His long, pale Japanese face became expressionless, which meant that he was in deep thought. Now, when Sadai saw him, his face has become pale and it became expressionless, which means that he was thinking something very seriously. You cannot be arrested, the general said, closing his eyes. Suppose you were condemned to death and the next day I had to have my operation. Now he told, suppose if you were condemned to death. Condemned to death, that means if you are sentenced to death, if death order will come to you, then, and if I have to get operated the next day, then who is going to take care of me? So in this way, he don't want that Dr. Sudeo should be taken away from him. Condemned to death, you can write sentenced to death. Their other surgeon, Excellency. Now Sodao suggested that it's okay if I will be condemned to death, then other surgeons are also there to look after you. None I trust, the general replied. The best ones have been trained by Germans and would consider the operation successful even if I died. Now he told me I don't have trust in any of the doctors because they got training by Germans. And even if I will die, these doctors will tell that the operation was conducted successfully. The operation was done successfully. I do not care for their point of view. He told me I never have faith in those doctors. He sighed. It seems a pity that we cannot better combine the German ruthlessness with the American sentimentality. Ruthlessness is cruelty. Ruthlessness means cruelty, and sentimentality is a softness or a person who is very caring or who had a lot of emotion. So he is telling we Japanese are not very cruel like Germans, and we are also not very soft hearted like Americans, and we have to be like that. Then you could turn your prisoner over to execution. He told me if you had that ruthlessness, that cruelty of German, you could kill your prisoner. Instead of curing him, instead of taking out his bullet, instead of saving his life, you could have killed him. Yet I could be sure you would not murder me while I was unconscious. Now the general here, which shows the humorous nature of general, he is telling ki I have full faith on you. Even if I will sentence you to death, you will not murder me when I will be lying unconscious here. You will not kill me, you will not murder me if I will lie here unconscious. The general laughed. This shows that he was having a very humorous nature. He had an unusual sense of humor. As a Japanese, could you not combine these two foreign elements? He asked. So one again he cracked a joke on Dr. Suda. He told me, as a Japanese, you must have this, try to adopt these both habits. Cruel like Germans and sentimental like Americans. Sadao smiled. I am not quite sure, he said, but for your sake I would be willing to try excellency. Now, excellency is told to the person of the higher position, just to give him respect. The general shook his head. I had rather not be the test case, he said. He felt suddenly weak and overwhelmed with the care of his life as an official in times such as these, when repeated victory brought great responsibility. Now general shook his head. He told me, I would not like to be tested. What type of test? To become ruthless like German and have sentiment like American. And then suddenly he felt very weak and overwhelmed. Overwhelmed means he was overpowered by the care which he has taken in his life as an officer. He started thinking, when repeated victory brought great responsibility. He had to take a lot of responsibility when he was given a job of the officer during the wartime, and continuously he was getting victories, but he had to suffer a lot. He had to fulfill a lot of responsibility. The South Pacific, when he was in South Pacific. It is very unfortunate that this man should have washed up on your doorstep. And now is telling, I know what do you mean, what is the meaning of responsibility, and especially when it is very unfortunate that this man should have washed up on your doorstep. That means this man has come to your doorstep, because as a surgeon it is your duty was to save him, and you have saved him. But now what you will do? Your duty is also to hand him over to the army. So he's telling, so it is for some time we have to suffer a lot. We have to decide. It takes a lot of time to decide that what we have to do. I feel it so myself, Sadao said gently. Sadao said, the same thing I am feeling. That should I tell about him to the Japanese army, or as a doctor I have done my duty, I have cured him, I have made his operation successfully. It would be best if he could be quietly killed, the general said. Now general gave him one idea to Dr. Sodai. He told me, why you should tell American army, because you also may be questioned, you may go for trial, you may condemn to death also, there might be a death sentence for you. So it's better, why don't you kill him silently, without telling anyone, without taking any risk. You can kill him. The general said, not by you, but by someone who does not know him. He told Ki. He also offered him. The general wanted to help him because his life was saved by Dr. Sodayo, and he had a lot of faith in Dr. Sodayo. So he told him Ki, you will not kill him, but someone else would kill him. I have my own private assassins. Assassins means professional killer. So he is telling that I am having my own professional killers, assassins, and if you want I can help you by giving them those professional killer. Suppose I send 2 of them to your house tonight, or better any night. Now he's asking if you really want to have those assassins, those professional killer, I may send you in any of the night or within these 2 nights. You need know nothing about it. It is now warm. What would be more natural than you should leave the outer partition of the white man's room open to the garden while he sleep? Now Dr. General is saying that nowadays we are having summer and you can leave the door open to the towards the garden and you sleep peacefully. My own man who are assassins, they will kill him, and that's all. You don't have to take any steps to kill him. It will be all done by my assassins. Certainly it would be very natural. Sodha agreed. In fact, it is so left open every night. Now Sodha told ki, okay, so yes, it would be very natural. In fact, we leave that portion of the house open because it is very hot. Good, the general said, yawning. Now the general was yawning. That means he was feeling bored or he must be feeling sleepy. They are very capable assassins. He started telling that they are very capable assassins. They make no noise and they know the trick of inward bleeding. He told that they will kill in such a way that not even a blood will be seen outside. They will be having the trick of inward bleeding. If you like, I can even have them remove the body. Not only that, if you want, the body will also be removed from your house. Sodha considered, Sodha thought. He told, okay, that would be better. That perhaps would be best. Excellency, he agreed, thinking of Hannah, because he know Hannah would not be able to bear all this thing. She won't like to have dead body in her house. So he told that would be best. He left the general presence then and went home. Now he left the general's presence and he went to his house, thinking over the plan. Now what was the plan? That the general will send 2 assassins to kill that man, to murder that man, and the body might be also removed by them. Nobody will come to know. In this way he would get rid of that American fellow. He left the general presence then. So we are here. He left the general presence then and went home, thinking over the plan. In this way the whole thing would be taken out of his hands. He would tell Hannah nothing, and he decided he would tell Hannah nothing, since she would be timid at the idea of assassins. Timid means to feel afraid. He knew as soon as I will tell about assassins, she will feel timid. She would be scared. She would feel afraid at the idea of assassins in the house. And yet certainly such persons were essential in an absolute state such as Japan was. Now he thought that there is a need of assassin in a country like Japan, because Japan was involved in the World War II. How else could rulers deal with those who opposed them? Now he's thinking, how can the rulers used to deal with those persons who used to oppose them? He refused to allow anything but reason to be the atmosphere of his mind as he went into the room where the American was in bed. Now he went into the room where the American was there. He was lying in the bed. But as he opened the door, to his surprise, he found the young man out of bed. Now he thought he must be sleeping. Very slowly he opened the door of the room, but what he found that the young man was out of bed and preparing to go into the garden. Now he wanted to go to the garden. What is this? He explained. Who gave you permission to leave your room? I'm not used to waiting for permission. Now he also straight away told that I'm not used to waiting for permission. Tom said gaily. Tom was the name of that American fellow, that enemy, and gaily means happily. Gosh, I feel pretty good again, but will the muscles on this side always feel stiff? Now he's telling me now I'm feeling better, but the muscle where the bullet was, it is still, I feel stiff. Is it so? Now the doctor's spirit has risen again. He's asking, oh, is it you till now you're feeling uncomfortable? Sodha inquired. That means doctor's spirit has risen once again. He was surprised. He forgot all else. Now I thought I had provided against that, he murmured. He lifted the edge of the man's shirt and gazed at the healing. Now he started looking at the wound, at the healing wound of that man. Massage may do it. He gave the solution also. He told, if you will do massage, first you try some exercise, and then if if you will not, if again you will feel stiff, then massage may do it. See here, massage may do it. So here, massage may do it if exercise does not. It won't bother me much, the young man said. His young face was gaunt under the stubby blonde beard. Now, the young man's face, it was gaunt means it was still pale, and he can see, because he was a blind person, he could still feel the yellowish beard. He could see the yellowish beard on his face. His young face was gaunt under the stubby blonde beard. So that means his young, that means that beard, now he had gaunt means very thin because of illness, hunger or worried. So his face, it has become gaunt because it has become thin, maybe due to illness, maybe due to excessive bleeding, or maybe due to worry. And blonde beard can be seen on his face. Say, doctor, I've got something I want to say to you. Now he told me, I want to say something to you, doctor. If I hadn't met a Japanese like you, well, I would not be alive today. I know that. He told me, you're very generous being as a Japanese, because generally Japanese don't support their enemy. If any other Jap would have been in his place, he would have killed me, or he would have handed me over to the army. So I have never seen a Japanese like you, and because of you I am alive today. Sodai bowed means he gave a respect in his response, but he could not speak. Sure, I know that, Tom went on warmly. His big thin hands gripping a chair were white at the knuckles. Knuckles are the bones of the person's fist. When we close our hand to catch something, that the portion of the bone near the joint, it was white. It was white because of the excessive bleeding. He still have a very less blood inside his body, and that's why the joints were looking white. I guess if all the Japs were like you, there wouldn't have been a war. Sterling, he gave a compliment to Dr. Soda. He told, if all the Japanese would have been like you, there would never been a war. Perhaps, Soda said with difficulty. And now I think you had better go back to bed. Now Soda said, now it's time for you to go to bed. He helped the boy back into bed and then bowed. Good night, he said. Now he bowed. He took him to the bed. He helped the boy to take him to the bed, and there he bowed and he said good night. Sodao slept badly that night. Time and time again he woke. Why he woke? Because he was waiting for the assassin. He knew that they will certainly come and kill him. Thinking, he heard the rustling of footsteps. Rustling are the noise made by when the leaves are dry. that noise when somebody walks, or when the leaves fly itself, when that noise come, it means rustling. So sometime when he heard the rustling of footstep, he thought that somebody is walking on the dried leaves. The sound of a twig broken. Sometime the twig used to break, and he used to feel that somebody is already coming to inside his house. Or a stone displaced. Sometime when the stone is displaced in the garden, he again used to think that assassins are here to kill him. A noise such as men might make who carried a burden. The next morning, he made the excuse to go first into the guest room. He thought that person has died by the two assassins, because lot of noise like rustling of footsteps, the sound of big broken twig, or a stone displaced. So he thought that somebody was here already to kill him. So he made the excuse to go first into the guest room. If the Americans were gone, he then could simply tell Hannah that so the general had directed. He thought if he will not see that American, he will tell simply to Hannah that what really had that night, how general had helped them in that night. But when he opened the door, he saw at once that there on the pillow was a shaggy blonde head. But when he opened the door, he saw that he could still see that shaggy, that American person. He was still lying. He was still in his room. Okay. And shaggy means long or thick. Here his hair was already uncombed, tangled. It has become long, so he could see his slaggy blonde head. He could hear the peaceful breathing of sleep. He saw that he is sleeping very peacefully. He could hear his breath. He closed the door again quietly. He is asleep, he told Hannah. He is almost well to sleep like that. Now he told Hannah that he is sleeping in a very peaceful manner. Maybe he is used to sleep like that. What shall we do with him? Hannah whispered her old friend. Now Hannah told in the same voice that what shall we are going to do with him? Now he is able to walk also. He has become better. Sardar shook his head. I must decide in a day or two, he promised. He told within a day or two I will do something with that man. Sardar shook his head. I must decide in a day or two, he promised. But certainly he thought the second night must be the night. Now he waited for the second night as promised by the general. He thought his two assassins will come and kill him in this night. There rose a wind that night, and he listened to the sounds of bending bow and whistling partitions. Now that day lot of noise was caused by the wind. Okay, he thought that lot of bending of the sounds made by bending bows and whistling partitions. Hannah woke up. Ought we not to go and close the sick man's partition? She told, why should we should go and close the sick man's partition, the door which was open towards the garden. No, Sardar said, he's able to now to do it by for himself. Sardar straight away refused. He told he can do by himself now. Now next morning again he went to see him, but the next morning the American was still there in the room. Then came the third night. Then the third night, of course, must be the night. He told that third night would be the night, of course, for which he was waiting for. Two assassins will be sent by the general to kill him. The wind changed to quiet rain, and the garden was full of now that day it was windy night. Rainfall was there. The garden was full of the sound of dripping eaves and running springs, and he felt the sound of water as if it is falling to the stone. Moving of eaves is the sound of water. It is falling as if it is falling on the stone, and running spring. So lot of noise, rainfall noise was made by the nature that day. Sada slept a little better but he woke at the sound of a crash and leaped to his feet. Suddenly he heard some crashing noise. What was that? Hannah cried. The baby woke at her voice and began to wail. The baby also started crying. I must go and see. Now she thought something is going there in his room, but he held her. But Dr. Sador did not want his wife to go and see that man to be killed by the two assassins. So he also thought that somebody is there to kill him. He did not want his wife to go and see all this thing. He held her and would not let her move. Sadao, she cried, what is the matter with you? She told, what is the matter with you? So both Hannah also had in mind that something is going on, and when Sadao tried to stop her, she asked him, what is the matter with you? Don't go, he muttered, don't go. And when he requested her not to go, then this her sixth sense sensed that something is going on in the other room. His terror infected her and she stood breathless. She also had seen terror in the eyes of her husband, and she stood breathless, waiting. There was only silence. Together they crept back into the bed, the baby between them. Yet when he opened now this time, he was certain that that fellow must be killed by the assassins. Yet when he opened the door of the guest room in the morning, now the morning came, he went there to the guest room, he opened the door, there was only silence. Together they crept back into the bed, the baby was between them. Now there was silence, yet when he opened the door of the guest room in the morning, there was the young man. Now what he saw, the young man was still there, nobody came. The sound which they heard that crash sound, it was of something else. He was very gay and had already washed and was now on his feet. Now children, he was looking fresh. He might have taken bath. He was very gay. Gay means happy. He had asked for a razor yesterday and had shaved himself, and today there was a faint color in his cheeks. Now some rosy color was there in the cheek, and yesterday he had asked for a razor, he had shaved, and he was looking very young and fresh. I am well, he said joyously. Now he told I am feeling very well. Sadar drew his kimono round his weary body. He decided suddenly, go through another night. It was not that he cared for this young man's life. No, simply it was not worth the strain. Now he thought Sadar put his kimono. He thought maybe this night, maybe some other night, he would be killed. So why he is taking the strain? You are well, Sadao agreed. He lowered his voice. You are so well that I think if I put my boat on the shore tonight with food and extra clothing in it. Now Sadao thought 3-4 days had passed, still the assassins had not come. Now he is making a plan. He is thinking to tell the young man to leave the house. Now what really happens, that will be explained in the last part of my next video. Until then, please go through it, please listen whatever I have taught you, listen to the explanation. Until then, bye bye.